Mr. Lyle, my name is Mike Dreyer, and I have a communications class with you. And did you know that the Hershey Company produces over 20 million Hershey Kisses every single day? They use 133 square miles of aluminum to wrap all those 20 million Hershey Kisses in. The material that they use to wrap it in is recyclable, but most of it ends up in the trash rather than the recycling bin. So what I was going to talk to you today about is recycling, what recycling accomplishes, what's recyclable, what can be recycled. Some people don't know, so I'd like to inform you guys a little bit about what can be recycled and what it accomplishes, yes, but also why it's important to all of us that we do recycling. Recycling can save energy, and we all know now that energy is a valuable commodity. So recycling tin, glass, plastic containers, bottles, all that can conserve energy to power light bulbs. 3 to 4 hours for the light bulbs. It minimizes trash. We all have a garbage pickup system, or we think of the garbage can that has the sack underneath the kitchen sink as a way to discard anything we don't want to see on the kitchen counters. We scrape our food into it, we take the wrapper off of this and that, and we throw it in there, wipe the paper towels, or we use paper towels to wipe the counters off, then we throw it in the garbage. I honestly believe that a lot of people think that once the product is in the garbage, it's out of sight, out of mind, so therefore you don't have to worry about it. But it does end up in landfills. So recycling definitely minimizes trash. With less trash, landfills don't fill up as quickly. According to greenliving.com, paper recycling saves over 3 cubic yards of landfill space for every ton of paper made from recycled materials. So if you really think about that, 3 cubic yards of landfill space for every ton of paper made from recycled materials. You hear that recycling saves trees. Well, it does. It definitely does. A ton of paper made from recycled paper. Okay, 1 ton of paper made from recycled paper saves 17 trees. Okay, so if you can look in your yard, or if you can, as you're driving down the road and you look left and right and you see all these trees, think about it. 17 trees. 17 trees can be saved. Full trees can be saved with 1 ton, 1 ton of paper. And 1 ton of paper made from those 17 trees. So the environment, of course, when we talk about recycling, majority of us think about the environment and landfills and the paper products and the trees and all that stuff. But the environment can be saved by recycling. It's not saved right now by recycling, but it can be saved by recycling. At greenliving.com it says that the environment is contaminated by people that don't recycle, but it's not just contaminated. There's actually ways that it can be saved rather than just contaminated by not recycling. So there's 200 million gallons of used oil, like motor oil. It's disposed of in the environment. Most of the oil is poured down into the drain, onto the ground, or just tossed into the garbage. Again, it goes back to my point of, people put things into the garbage and think that since they put it in the garbage and it's in the garbage can and it gets picked up on Monday morning, that it is, definitely out of sight, out of mind, but it has to go somewhere. So takes 1 gallon, interesting fact, takes 1 gallon of motor oil to contaminate 1 million gallons of drinking water. So we're talking a gallon of motor oil for 1 million gallons of water to be contaminated. So, I could go on and on about this. I'm going to give you an informative speech, but if you really sit back and think about it, just a simple little gallon of motor oil can contaminate 1 million gallons of drinking water. And I don't think too many people think about that. Cars can be made from recycled aluminum, and that decreases air pollution by 95%. That's quite a bit. Since this is an informative speech, I can tell you what can be recycled. Okay, the things that can be recycled: styrofoam. If styrofoam is not recycled, it sits in landfills for basically 500 years. And we see all these Brita commercials and all that stuff about the plastic bottles that can, go around the globe, around the earth 40 times if you didn't recycle, or if you didn't use one of those Brita filters, all the plastic bottles. But styrofoam, 500 years. Water is, people don't think about it, but water is recyclable, and it's probably the most abused. Maybe not the most abused, but it's one of the most abused natural resources. Metals, anything metal, aluminum. That's one example. You can get money for recycling aluminum. Many places have aluminum cans. You take them in by the pound or by the ounce they pay you. So that's one thing that you can benefit from recycling. You can get paid to do it. Glass, plastic, paper. Most cities have a recycling program that helps you recycle the glass and paper and everything. Composting is another form of recycling. Batteries, cell phones are different examples of something that can be recycled. So I know this is only 5 minutes worth of your time, but what I want you to understand, or what I want you to know that I understand, is that recycling can help save energy. It minimizes trash, it saves trees, it saves the environment. So why wouldn't everybody do it, is my thought process. Consumers can recycle styrofoam, water, metals, glass, plastic, paper, and many other materials. So why not do it? Most materials that people purchase or consume can be recycled. All the papers and all the metals and the styrofoam, all that stuff. Looking around, I'm in my garage right now, and I'm looking around my garage, and I see a styrofoam cooler. I see many paper products there. I see many metal objects there that could easily be thrown out. There's some soda pop cans. There's some of my daughter's formula cans over there. There's things. Every single thing that I'm looking at right now can be recycled. So we'll do that. We'll recycle it, and if you don't think that one person makes a difference, it really does. So most materials people consume, they can be recycled in one way or another, and we can help the world become the cliche of greener. And I don't get gung-ho on it and think that greener is a term that I would use in a daily sentence, but when you see the facts and when you hear the statistics, it's like, why wouldn't everybody make it a little bit greener? So thank you for your time.